This afternoon from Nittany Lions Softball Park in State College, Pennsylvania Cable Network presents the PIAA Quad A Softball Championship. The matchup, 24-3 Avon Grove Red Devils and the 24-2 Hempfield Spartans. Weather conditions yesterday delayed this game for an extra day, but we promise you it's well worth the wait. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Alongside Mike Krause, my name is Bob McCool. The Avon Grove Red Devils out of District 1, Hempfield out of District 7. And you don't get to the state championships without good pitching. And, Mike, we've got good pitching.
We have outstanding pitching. We have two dominant pitchers. And what they have, they also have the ability to produce some runs. So it's going to be a pretty balanced team. The only difference is the pitching from Avon Grove with about 4 more strikeouts per game. So that means that Hempfield's going to have to handle the ball a little bit more on their defense. But they're a very solid defense. Hempfield, a very senior, junior-oriented. 9 players are either seniors and juniors. On Avon Grove side, pitching, senior, junior, and then 6 sophomores and 1 freshman. So that's going to be interesting as things play out if the game is close.
The Red Devils under first-year head coach Mike DeLuzio, but he's been around the game for a long time. He was 11 years at Garnet Valley before making the switch over to Avon Grove, and he's got a great reason to make that switch. He's got an outstanding young lady in the circle in Maggie Bullen.
Maggie Bullen, 362 strikeouts per game. You see her earned run average, half a run a game, or overall record. And one of the other things is she only gives up about 2 hits per game. So it's going to be interesting if the bats of Hempfield can't get on the ball, how they're going to play and shorten the game.
Bullen is already committed to the University of Oregon. She's ranked the number 4 recruit in the country. The coach on the opposite side, Bob Kalp, has been around this game for a long time. 20 years as the head coach at Hempfield, 349 wins and just 95 losses in that time. But he's got a very special pitcher as well in Morgan Ryan.
Morgan Ryan with 183 strikeouts, and you see her earned run average. Very good ball control, very aggressive, got a range of pitches that she has a really good feel for the game as a junior. Very experienced, great control, and very confident with the defense behind her.
Also committed to a Division I program. It happens to be the University of Notre Dame. So obviously pitching is at a premium, so too will be scoring runs. Defense will be huge. Bunts, moving runners along is going to be the way to get this game won.
If they can get some action early, it's going to make a difference. But if it's a scoreless game, which it looks like it could shape out to be with this pitching, it's going to come down to defense. It's going to come down to decision-making and aggressive base running. So the strategy is going to have an impact and nothing but. If you are a purist for softball, you're going to love this matchup.
And it's very interesting in talking to both coaches at length before this game, and they both are quite well aware of what they're up against. But it's going to be a low-scoring game to be sure. That's what we're figuring on. We'll have a break. We'll come back with the start of the Quad A State Championship right after this on PCN. Avon Grove, Hempfield, our Quad A matchup, moments away from the start. And again, we've talked at length, and rightfully so, about these 2 outstanding pitchers, but these 2 teams obviously can get the ball in play and get some runs produced. That's why they are here. Avon Grove out of District 1, where they lost to Perkiomen Valley 1-0 appropriately in 9 innings, perhaps a bit of a precursor of things to come for this afternoon's game. But the Red Devils took care of business in the PIAA playoffs, first against Archbishop Ryan at District 12. They won it 6-1. Then over Westchester East, 2-1, and District 2 champion Hazelton. And this is the way the Red Devils will go today. Leading off, junior left fielder Megan Nolan. Batting in the 2 spot is sophomore shortstop Morgan DeFeo. Batting third is the pitcher Maggie Bullen. Batting in the cleanup spot is sophomore Allison Wallauer. Batting in the 5 spot, third baseman and sophomore Rachel Butler. Batting 6th is catcher and freshman Olivia Konitsky. Batting 7th, sophomore right fielder Cameron Laterza. Batting 8th is the designated hitter Mackenzie Van Sciver. She too is a sophomore, as is the center fielder and 9-hole hitter Laura Thompson, going up against junior pitcher Morgan Ryan for the Spartans.
You see 183 Ks, but a lot of 1 run per game. And then you're going to see that a lot of her is really based on her defense. She's got a variety of pitches, a fast, a rise, a curve, and a change drop. So we'll see a mixture. You see that rise coming in to get things going. And she's going to be back to in left field, Jordan Sterling, the senior. Center field will be Taylor Hoffman, also a senior, and the senior right fielder, Taylor Blevins. Third base, Kaylee Bloom, also a senior. Alexa Pastor, the shortstop, senior. Then we get to the juniors, Jenna Ozakovich. And in second at first base, Ali Belgiavani. And behind the plate, Maddie Stoner of the juniors to support the arm of Morgan Ryan.
Morgan Ryan has produced 4 straight shutouts, starting with the District 7 championship game over Baldwin, then over Latrobe, McDowell, and Chambersburg on the route to State College for this state final. 4 straight shutouts from Morgan Ryan, and she starts the game against Megan Nolan with a ball. And comes right back with her 1-0 pitch that catches just misses actually the outside corner and falls behind at 2-0. Nope, I would stand corrected. She did indeed catch the outside corner, and it's 1-1.
Good mixture. You see they're playing her pretty straight up.
Tries to bunt there, bunts through it, and it's 1-2. Defense for Hempfield awaiting it. Kaylee Bloom at third, Ali Belgiavani at first base, making the charge as soon as she sees that bunt signal, as soon as that hand slides up the bat. Now it's 1-2. Tries to catch it and make her chase outside, just misses outside, and a count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You see Megan Nolan really tight out in the front of the box, trying to get something pieced on to now just see if she can get some contact up front.
Misses this one off the corner as well, and it's now a full count. .359 batting average for Megan Nolan. She does get on base as you would want as a leadoff hitter. Her on-base percentage is at .469.
You see early, Bob, just the waiting, the anxiety of just getting out there to start finally playing.
Swing and a miss as that pitch up high, and Nolan went up after it, and that's the first out recorded.
You see Ryan and get things started, coming up high and drawing maybe that temptation for Megan Nolan. Interesting part about this defense, see how already they've got pretty much scout out DeFeo as everybody's in tight.
This is up and high. You see DeFeo, that slap hitting that's so prevalent in women's softball from the left-handed hitters. And again, Bloom, the third baseman, charging on the pitch. The slap attempt fouls it back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
You can see even the outfield, Bob, how far up they are. And that's a nice thing. You don't see these teams being East and West, but you get information about them, and they're ready.
Morgan DeFeo with 2 hits in the semifinal win over Hazleton. Sits in a 1-1 count right now. Swings through it again, and it's 1-2.
He pushed that on the outside.
DeFeo, a .341 hitter on this, her sophomore season. This one way outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
When you go against that slap or the bunt, you work the outside of the plate. Send it down to third base, or it's pushing a foul.
Keeps herself alive.
Just barely caught that. You see that both last 2 pitches are on the outside. See if she brings it in or change of pace with the 2-2 count.
This one fouled down the third baseline. Going to be a long run. Kaylee Bloom can't quite get there, and charging on the attempt on the slap, and then have to kind of reverse her track and try to go back and get it. Just couldn't quite get there. Kaylee Bloom, unfortunately for Hempfield, that one falls foul, and it stays at 2-2.
In midday, she's looking right up into the sun, which also challenged her tracking of the ball.
DeFeo keeps herself alive again at 2-2, and here comes the pitch. This one popped up in the infield. Shortstop Alexa Pastor calls everybody off, squeezes it for the second out.
Good communication, knowing everything going. She'd work the outside, pushing the ball over to the left side of the infield off the bat. The interesting component on the season, the right side of the infield has more putouts and assists than the left side of the infield. And that says something about the control of Morgan Ryan.
And so up to the plate steps Maggie Ballin. And as good as these 2 young ladies are in that circle, they're not bad on the opposite end either. Both are very good hitters. Ballin will bat third, or is batting third. Morgan Ryan will bat cleanup for Hempfield.
A lot of respect in the outfield for her power.
Comes with the off-speed pitch, And the Hempfield fans thought she got it. The umpire says no, she did not. It's 1-1.
That looked like it was on a string coming in. You talk about the power of balance. She works intensely on her physical training. She can squat 225. 225.
Slaps it right on a one-hopper right to Taylor Blevins, who will make the play unassisted. And a 1-2-3 top half of the first for the Red Devils. The Spartans will come to the plate in the Quad A final.
See it just getting around on the ball. And this is one of the strengths of Hempfield. Only one strikeout in that first inning, but two very well-handled infield plays by the defense.
And here is the starting lineup, the batting order for the Spartans. Leading off, senior center fielder Taylor Hoffman. Batting in the 2 spot, senior shortstop Alexis Pastor. Batting third is junior second baseman Jenna Ozakovich. Batting cleanup, as we mentioned, is the pitcher Morgan Ryan. Batting fifth is junior catcher Madison Stoner. Batting sixth is senior right fielder Taylor Blevins. Seventh is third baseman Kaylee Bloom. Batting eighth is senior left fielder Jordan Sterling. And batting in the 9 spot is junior first baseman Ali Belgiavani. Again, taking on the 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Pennsylvania, Maggie Ballant.
She's going to bring everything, and you look at that, only 2 hits per game. You look at those strikeouts, about 13 per game that comes down to. That means her defense only has to make 8 plays. If that stays within, and just with her strength, she's physically so strong and powerful. She's got a defense behind her, relatively young, but pretty solid all the way around.
We take a look at that defense behind Ballant. Megan Nolan in left field, Laura Thompson in center, Cameron Laturza in right, Allison Wallauer is the first baseman, Olivia McGarvey is at second, Morgan DeFeo at short, Rachel Butler at third, Olivia Konitsky, the freshman, behind the plate for the senior pitcher.
And that's going to be interesting. And when we talked with Coach DeLuzio, one of the strengths that Olivia Konitsky has is her ability to catch the rise. And this, when she brings this heat, Ballant brings that heat, it's going to take off. And Konitsky, being a freshman, very athletic and a skilled softball player.
Not quite sure what's going on. We got an issue because the catcher is not out there. Apparently a problem for Olivia Konitsky, the catcher. As we see her in the dugout now, Mike DeLuzio, the head coach, becomes the equipment manager as well. And that's the delay right now, is Konitsky trying to put that gear on, apparently having a problem with what looks to be the chest protector.
It might be the helmet.
Oh, you're right. Yep. It is the helmet and the connection between the helmet and the mask. And when you're catching somebody like Maggie Ballant, who throws the ball close to 70 miles an hour, you want to make sure the equipment is well checked out.
You're protected out front. You know, it looks like they have to make an adjustment. Maybe that's a different mask. You want the comfort, so it sits tight because you're going to be moving around. Ball on the inside, outside. You don't want to shake to impair your view of the ball.
And so delays, well, these girls have had some already. They were literally 20 minutes away from getting on the bus yesterday before they got the call from the PIAA that do not bother to come. Both Hempfield and Avon Grove had not left their respective schools yesterday when the PIAA made the decision to postpone the game from what was scheduled for last night at 5:30 to move it to this afternoon. So they got off the bus. Avon Grove, Hempfield both had a practice, and interestingly enough, talking to both coaches about that and what they did in that situation, kind of a different reaction. Avon Grove was disappointed that they had to have practice. Hempfield was disappointed that they were happy that they had to have one more practice, which is a very unusual characteristic.
Well, you look at Hempfield, 5 seniors. And when you get to the state playoffs and it's your last game, that hits the seniors. That's when reality sets in. So they know that was their last practice. Getting a delay emotionally gave them another time, because these girls become your best friends. You have a relationship, you're working hard, you have emotional highs, emotional lows with them, and it creates such a bond. And it's also, high school's over. So the reality of everything comes in. And so they got that gift.
And so Olivia Konitsky has her gear straightened out. And now the warm-up pitches for Maggie Ballant. Again, the players are out on the field, and now Ballant will take care of her warm-up tosses. Pedigree as well for Maggie Ballant. Her mother, Jen, is her coach privately in terms of off-season work and in the summer leagues. But she, too, was a pretty good pitcher as well. Pitched at St. John's.
And it's nice to have, because as you physically get stronger, there's different pieces of your technique that you can work on, the finer movements of your technique. And also, some of the understanding of when to throw pitches and understanding batters, understanding their tendencies, and visually see them so you can figure it out on your own. Because at your age, you're guided by your coaches, but then as you mature and you start figuring things out on your own, and it's nice to have that guidance on those little intricacies as you develop.
And she is a workout fanatic, to say the least. Mike DeLuzio telling us there were a couple times where she had short games because they took her out because of the score, and she didn't feel like she got enough work in. She'd go out and run hills. That's how you become the #4 recruit in the country. First pitch swinging is Taylor Hoffman, and fouls it out of play.
I think we have things scout out. They don't get a chance as east-west, but I can see the positioning of Avon Grove's defense. They're very well aware of what Taylor Hoffman presents.
And again, trying with that left-handed slap, and slaps it out of play. And it's no balls and 2 strikes quickly to the leadoff hitter, Taylor Hoffman. Little wind kicking up here, not just in the press box, but on the field as well, blowing in from right field. This one, there's that rise pitch we talked about, and it did indeed rise high, up and over and off the glove of Livia Konitsky. There is our officiating crew. The home plate umpire is Andrew Harvin. First base is Dan Racino Sr. Second base is Robert Merwine, and the third base umpire is Tim Wood out of District 11. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You hear the reaction from the crowd. It's so close, and everybody's angle is different where they're going to see things, but the one that matters the most, as you had mentioned, is Andrew Harvin. His opinion is the one that counts.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there's that rise pitch again, and it did indeed rise right up and over the top to the fence. And when someone gets on base, that is certainly something to consider. And we talked about Olivia Konitsky with Mike DeLuzio about it. He said that she's the best at handling that rise pitch of Maggie Ballin.
Well, it's still early, and she hasn't really thrown live competition pitches except the first 2 batters.
3-2 on the outside corner for a called strike 3. Strikeout number 1,314 in the career of Maggie Ballin.
I know there's some people that had that on the other side of the plate.
Alexa Pastor. Well, you have to look at me when you say that.
Just throwing it out there.
takes one for a called strike on the outside corner. Yeah, I don't know if you're superstitious. I don't know if you want to come into a state championship with 13-13 as your career strikeouts, but quickly gets 13-14 and quickly ahead 0-2 on the number 2 hole hitter, Alexa Pastor.
And again, Avon Grove has them scout out. Look at the outfield, look at the infield. It's just now about making plays. Get the ball in contact and making plays, challenge a speed versus a transition. From taking the ball off the ground into your arm and throw over to first. And you'll see by footwork, if they're relaxed, how they position themselves in preparation for the throw to first.
Pastor, a .410 batting average on this, her senior season. Fouls this one straight back, and it's 1 ball and stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
When you get to this level, it's a matter of how many people you've seen throw this hard. And if you haven't seen them, that's where you're trained and get a feel for what it's comparable to.
There's the rise, and there's strikeout number 2.
Bounce starting out the way she is anticipated. When you start out with the top of your order, both slap hitters, and they're unable to get their bat and the ball in play, that's a confidence builder for your team.
This is Jenna Osakovic, the junior, stepping in. First pitch swinging and fouls this one out of play. She had the game-winning RBI, a base hit, and a single to win the game. The only run scored in the win over Baldwin, one of the 2 runs. They won that game 2-0, but the game-winning RBI coming off the bat of Jenna Osakovic as she steps in.
Now Hempfield in the PIAA playoffs unscored upon.
Swing and a miss there, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. It's 4 straight strikeouts for Morgan Ryan, starting with that win over Baldwin. And then shutting out their opponents all the way through the 3 games to get them here to State College. Ballin, 0-2, comes with a rise and hits. Looked like it caught the elbow or the wrist of Jenna Osakovic, and she becomes the game's first base runner.
Looks like it hit her left elbow. You're going to check her a little bit, her lead elbow on the pitch. See as it comes in, see it's coming up and in.
Pretty tough young lady. That's a pitch coming in at 60+ miles an hour. Hit her right square in the elbow, and she didn't flinch. Dropped the bat, ran to first. As Morgan Ryan steps to the plate.
Let's see if they're going to be aggressive in the base running.
Big swing there from Morgan Ryan, swings through it.
So now you have your number 4 hitter, you got a runner on first. Do you take the risk with the contact success that Morgan Ryan has had?
There's the rise, and Ryan can't get up to it, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Ryan's got a lot of power with her arm and a lot of power with the bat. 6 home runs on the year. She's got a career school record of 11 home runs, and again, she's just a junior. She's behind 0-2. Fouls this one straight back. So if you're Morgan Ryan right now, you're thinking, okay, I've seen that, and she was pretty close in the timing. So now it's just a matter of making the adjustment, seeing what Maggie Ballant can do. But now if you're Maggie Ballant, you're thinking, okay, can she catch the rise?
Well, here they're going to send the runner, and they'll take the risk with the 2 strikes.
There's the rise, and swing and a miss, strike 3, as Maggie Ballant ends up striking out the side in the bottom half of the first. We're through 1 in the Quad A final. We're scoreless. We start inning number 2. After both teams went 1-2-3, or went down without much thunder in the first. It'll be Allison Wallauer, Rachel Butler, and Olivia Konitsky due up 4, 5, and 6 for the Red Devils in the top half of the second inning.
So Wallauer's going to start with a little bit of an open stance. Her left foot is inside the box.
Little pop up in the infield. Morgan Ryan will take care of business all by herself. 2 pitches and 1 out in the top of the second.
You get through that first cycle of the batting order, you just want to get a feel, take a look at what the pitchers are doing. Then you can make your adjustments. You'll see where it's going to be, how's the ball moving, how fast it is. And then the second time around, you see some adjustments by the offense.
Rachel Butler, sophomore, steps into the batter's box, takes one for a called strike. This one fouled straight back. That'll be an interesting challenge for Morgan Ryan. I mean, obviously Maggie Ballant is, as we've seen now, as advertised. But for Morgan Ryan, again, she's a junior. She's already committed to going to play at Notre Dame. But for her, it's a very interesting challenge to say, hey, you know what? I'm not that bad either. She shows it right there when she throws a little bit of a rise as well and gets her second strikeout.
Well, that's where it comes down to coaching. And you know that Bob Culp has a lot of experience coaching, knows how to manage players, and a lot of times you're not going to really compare yourself. You got to be careful with that. You want to focus on what you do and what your job is as a team.
Here comes the freshman catcher, Olivia Konitsky, with 2 outs now in the second. A breaking ball that misses outside.
And it's interesting you say that, Bob, because a lot of times the supplemental people around the program might start making that and the kids hear it. So you sort of want to insulate that conversation away from your kids.
Swing and a miss there, and it's strike 2. It's 1 ball and 1 strike, excuse me.
There you go, Morgan.
When you talk about Morgan Ryan, she lost her father to cancer, her father Jeff this spring. And to be able to get through this season in that situation, her father was always there for her. And Coach Crawford is very proud of the way she's handled it, making sure that she's on top of the game. And it's a commendable effort by Morgan Ryan to be able to get through this on her team.
1-2 pitch by her, way up high this time. It's 2-2. Bob Culp was very honest about it. Said it's been very much of an emotional roller coaster for her. Midway through the season, it really started to hit home a little bit, but obviously the success of the team helps heal some wounds as well. 2-2 pitch. Konitsky, nice job of keeping herself alive as she fouls that one out of play. Those are the things that make high school sports so special. Some of those underlying things that teams go through, the growing up process and that sports brings to light. 2-2 pitch by Morgan Ryan, ripped right at the third baseman, Kitley Bloom, for out number 3. As the Devils go 1-2-3 in the top half of the second, we head to the bottom, scoreless.
And that's where you see where Morgan Ryan is very proud.
Maggie Ballant stepped to the circle here at State College for the first time. Avon Grove has never been in a state championship. They come highly advertised, and Maggie Ballant is the reason why, and she showed Hempfield why in the top half of the first.
See that rise, it just keeps coming, it looks good, then all of a sudden just gets above where you're swinging. Nice job, and great job by Olivia Konitsky behind the plate. And it's his defense that you saw right there, that Hempfield, nice swing. Kaylee Bloom defending that at third base, hard drive. Defending, that's the defense behind Morgan Ryan. And you'll see Maggie Ballant up to the plate. Nobody's had to handle the ball yet on her team.
Yeah, at this stage, and that was part of what Hempfield was hoping for, that let's see if we can't put the ball in play and make some of these youngsters make some plays. And again, Maggie Ballant is a senior, the only senior on the roster for the Red Devils. Megan Nolan, there's their junior left fielder and leadoff hitter. She's the only junior on the roster. The rest of the Red Devils are all sophomores and freshmen. And Olivia Konitsky is that freshman catcher we mentioned. So, and that's kind of what they were thinking, that let's see what the rest of them can do. Obviously, Ballant is very good, but somebody's been able to score runs against her. That was the logic. He said, look, they've lost 3 games. They lost to Westchester Henderson 4-1. They lost to Downingtown West 4-3. That during the regular season, and then obviously they lost in the district final to Perkiomen Valley 1-0 in 9 innings. In addition to that, he's looking at the AAA playoffs and saying, look, somebody scored 1 run against them, somebody scored 2 runs against them, so why can't we? We've been a pretty good team all year long. We get the bat on the ball, but we'll see how things change now here in the second. It's Madison Stoner, Taylor Blevins, Kaylee Bloom due up for Hempfield in the second.
Stoner definitely an impact hitter for this team.
First pitch to her is low and inside. Madison Stoner with a double and a home run in the district final over Baldwin. His school record 31 RBIs on the year. Batting out of the 5-hole. Takes this one to the inside corner for a strike.
Fielder position, even the outfield, is somewhat shallow. Not anticipating hard contact on the ball.
This one way inside, it's 2-1. Yeah, for Morgan Ryan, they were back a little bit, but for some of the top hitters in the lineup, and now they've taken a little bit of a step back for Taylor Blevins, or for Madison Stoner, as well, but for the most part, they are really shallow, and for an obvious reason, because not too many people get a lot of solid contact against the pitcher. As Ballant misses again, it's 3-1. This is 2 in a row, pretty much at the same spot, low and inside.
Stoner in the front of the box.
There's that rise, and she can't catch up to it. It's 3-2.
What a great pitch. That just keeps it. You see Konitsky just trying to reach, or Konitsky trying to reach up and get the ball out of the glove.
The force, and then the combination of that with the rise, it's just so often going to bounce off the top of the glove. This is a little fister to the first base side. Allison Wallauer will take the play herself as the ball's kind of knuckling on the ground and picks it up and makes the tag, and Madison Stoner is retired for the first out in the second.
And with the movement of the ball, they're just not unable. Your goal as the pitcher is just make sure the offense is unable to get a clean contact. That's the position of the defense.
Ballant's pitched thrown 5 no-hitters in this season, one of them a perfect game. There's a late swing by Taylor Blevins. Senior right fielder steps in.
Stay on it, stay on it. Find a gap, kid, find a gap.
371 batting average for Taylor Blevins. There's the rise, and it's 0-2. So she shows the rise for the first couple hitters with 2 strikes. There she does it with 1 strike.
And that's where you want to make sure you don't get into too much of a pattern to become predictable.
Blevins is able to hold up there, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, that just missed on the inside.
Get out one, Blev, get out one.
Not giving anything easy.
Mistake corrected, but it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Blevins. Pops this one straight up in the infield. Konitsky can't see it. Wallauer will make the call instead and make the catch. And so it's 2 outs now here in the second inning.
Great job by the sophomore Allison Wallauer. The ball got popped up, and Olivia Konitsky could not tell where the ball had gone. Ballant was telling it's up, and then just charging Allison Wallauer to make the finish.
So Kaylee Bloom steps in again, a late swing, and she misses it. Konitsky never got that mask off and had no idea where it was. She knew the ball was popped up in the infield, but she couldn't find it. And that's a good job, as Mike said, by the first baseman to take charge and cover the tracks. As again, the Ballant quickly works ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
I wonder if that had any impact when they were working with that mask. She's able to remove it.
This one lifted into center field, and deep back goes Thompson, and she'll make the over-the-shoulder catch for the 3rd out. So the first solid contact for the Spartans, but it still goes 1-2-3 in the second. After 2, we remain scoreless. Top half of the 3rd inning, you're watching the PAAA Softball Championships on PCN. Order your copy of the PAAA Softball Championships online at thepcnstore.com. Morgan Ryan in the circle for the Hempfield Spartans, starting off against Jordan Sterling and misses 1 for a ball. Jordan Sterling, Ali Belgiovanni, and Taylor Hoffman, the 3 due up for Avon Grove, as this one is tapped right side. First baseman Wallauer throws it over to McGarvey covering for out number 1 in 3rd.
Azakovich went over and took that as Belgiovanni made that decision. And you're tempted when it's that close to the line to try to make a contact on the runner, but very good decision making, nice soft throw for the out. And that's where Azakovich, a lot of putouts.
Cameron Laterza was the batter, made that first out. A little bunt attempt by Mackenzie Van Sciver, and Kaylee Bloom quickly pounces on it, makes the throw over to Belgiovanni for out number 2. So 3 pitches and 2 outs already recorded in this 3rd inning.
Now you can see why Azakovich has so many putouts and assists, because they're fielding those bunts to try to make contact, make something happen.
I'll bring up Laura Thompson, the 9-hole hitter. First pitch to her is over for a called strike 1.
See, they're playing her tight.
This one slapped the other way and threw for a base hit. Actually, this is a change to the lineup for Avon Grove. Olivia McGarvey is batting. So McGarvey is batting and Laura Thompson is not. So that's a change to the lineup for Avon Grove. And McGarvey gets the base hit out of that 9 spot. And that's the first hit of the ball game. And with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
It was a good job. McGarvey taking that run with the attempt of the right field by Taylor Blevins, but she outran it.
There's a bunt. Nolan bunts it. Morgan Ryan makes the play to Azakovich covering to retire the side in the 3rd inning. So Avon Grove gets the first hit of the game, but they can do no more with it. After 2.5, we remain scoreless.
Nice job by the defense being challenged. You're going to play some small ball a little bit, make some things happen, works. Nice position on the bunt, but good footwork and preparation to pick it up and see that with a great angle, how close that actually is. And you could see it with those cameras, with that great shot. And you see just a glove squeeze before the foot contact on the bag.
So the Red Devils finally get some contact, as did Hempfield to end that inning, with Kaylee Bloom hitting the ball hard to center field. But still nothing against Maggie Ballant in terms of hits on the board. First hit recorded in that last inning by Hempfield of this game. Jordan Sterling, Ali Belgiovanni, and Taylor Hoffman due up now for Hempfield in this 3rd inning. And as we talked about with this lineup for Avon Grove, you got the senior, you got the junior, and then a lot of sophomores and freshmen. And that's what Bob Kalp was hoping to do, to try to test this defense a little bit. As Jordan Sterling steps to the plate. Jordan Sterling will continue her softball career next year at Robert Morris University. All 3 outfielders for Hempfield will continue playing softball at the Division I level. It's impressive in and of itself. Taylor Hoffman will head, the center fielder will head to Liberty University, play for the Flames. Taylor Blevins, who plays in right field, is headed to Bowling Green.
Productive outfield.
0-1 to Sterling as she steps in. Again, trying to slap her way on base. Swings through that when it's no balls and 2 strikes.
It's interesting to see the way they position McGarvey. They actually have her. It must be a little bit quicker and comfortable. And Allison while over. McGarvey, the second baseman, up by the mound.
This one Foul towards the dugout for Avon Grove, and Sterling keeps herself alive at 0-2.
And they have Wallauer back by first base. So really I've pinched up McGarvey. He's almost right next to Bolin.
Swings through it. Doesn't matter in this particular case as Sterling becomes strikeout victim number 4. It is an interesting scenario. I don't know sure if it's because of covering first base, but now with a right-handed hitter, Wallauer does come in, and the second baseman McGarvey goes back. As Ali Belgiavani steps in and swings through the first pitch.
This lineup features 8 hitters with 25 or more hits on the season. So you know they can make contact. 6 of their hitters have combined 21 in the season. That's showing you what the impact Ballin has made so far early in this game.
She's ahead 0-2. Fisted foul by Belgiavani. Tried to hold up the swing and could not.
Beautiful day up here in State College.
After clouds and rain yesterday. There's a swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts to start this 3rd inning. Maggie Ballin well in control right now. Only one batter has reached base. That was Jenna Osakovic, who was hit by a pitch.
Now you go back to the dugout, you start talking about what's the ball doing and where is it coming.
Here comes the top of the order. So Taylor Hoffman, who has at least seen Ballin throw now, takes the first pitch for a ball.
And I move McGarvey back up.
So it's a matter of whether it's on the left-handed hitters, the second baseman comes up. Right-handed hitters, the first baseman does. Tap third. Rachel Butler, the third baseman, makes the play in time. Bang, bang play at first base, but the side is retired. Again, 1-2-3 goes Hempfield into third. We head to the 4th, still scoreless. No score as we head to the top of the 4th. Due up for the Red Devils here in the 4th. Morgan DeFeo, Maggie Ballin, and Allison Wallauer. That's 2, 3, and 4 in Avon Grove's lineup this afternoon. AAA Quad A State Championships. Red Devils come in at 24-3. Hempfield comes in at 24-2. DeFeo popped up in the infield her last time up. 0-1 pitch to her. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes it for a called strike 2.
It's all down on the mound. The movement of the ball, and batter's just trying to make something happen. Got with a small ball, they're not going to take a full swing. It's been a pattern so far.
Feo calls time. Tried to check her swing, but did not. Now the question is whether or not the ball hit the bat, and apparently it did, so it's going to be a foul tip.
I thought that missed. It looked like it went more so off the glove than the angle that I had.
But it remains no balls and 2 strikes. First time that Bryan has been 0-2 on a hitter.
See if she goes outside.
Bounced that one up there. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, on that last pitch, it looked like DeFeo tried to check her swing and could not. And it tipped off the bat on the handle of the bat. And so that's why it was at 0-2, and it's now 1-2. Again, trying to tap it foul, just slap it past Kaylee Bloom, the third baseman, but just a little bit wide of that bag. So it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That came off there pretty quick. You're not going to have much time to react. If you keep it low, anything up in the air, it's not coming quick enough to get out of the infield.
Slaps it to the right side this time. Sliding stop by Osakovic. The flip to first to Belgiavani for out number 1.
That's where, again, you see everything going to the right side of the infield. Osakovic in quick. Made sure that she fielded the ball first. Made sure to fielded the ball, stopped it, and then nice flips it over to first base. Plenty of time. Great job on the defense by Osakovic.
We'll bring up Maggie Ballin. Did a game-winning 2-run inside the park home run in the semifinal win over Hazelden. Here's a little tapper to third base side, and Kaylee Bloom will make the throw to first in time for the second out. It was one of 3 inside the park home runs hit by Avon Grove in that semifinal win over Hazelden.
A lot of speed once they get their bat and the ball. Right now the challenge is to get something with some juice on the ball. Everything's been dribblers. That's credit to Morgan Ryan.
Allison Wallauer now steps to the plate. She popped up to Morgan Ryan her first time up. And she takes one low for a ball.
One of the things that Morgan Ryan, you look at strikeouts about nine per game, but she's keeping everything on the ground, keeping everything on the infield.
This one fouled out of play.
The one that left the infield was that single by Olivia McGarvey in the third inning. To right.
1 ball, 1 strike now to Wallauer. Throws the changeup, had her fooled, and gets it called for a strike at the letters.
It looks like the cameras are in slow motion. You're expecting the heat, and it just comes in and is dangling there.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Back with a fastball that looks even faster now, and a swing and a miss to end the inning for the Red Devils in the 4th.
You're seeing that just the summary so far is we're not going to anticipate anything getting out of the infield or any. So it's going to come down to just trying to move the ball around if you're going to slap or you're going to try to bunt it, because the defenses are so good. And not only the defense with the glove, but their arms are showing if they're deep, they're still making a really solid throw. And you saw Azakovic with a nice little flip. You see what's going on here. Great look at the focus of Morgan Ryan. On the outside, gets a swing. Then she comes in high again on the inside, no contact. The bunt, playing and pursuing, knowing that she's shown she's versatile. You see the good footwork over on defense by Azakovic. Gets the put out and then gets the assist. And this is what they've been known for. If it's not going to be Ryan on the mound, it's going to be the rest of them, the support on the field. Very productive so far, and they're competing.
People talk so much in the world of high school sports, and quite obviously, in my opinion, talk about it too much about Division I athletes. And the answer I've always said is that if you see a Division I athlete, you know you're watching a Division I athlete. We're watching 2 Division I athletes in the caliber of pitching this afternoon. Maggie Ballin, again, regarded as the number 4 recruit in the country. She's headed to the University of Oregon, and as a result of her recruitment and another pitcher who is regarded as the number 1 recruit, Oregon has the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. And again, Morgan Ryan is just a junior. She committed to the University of Notre Dame last year at the end of her sophomore season.
Notre Dame play like a champion today.
Olivia Pastor with the little bunt down the third base side. Quick throw to first and not handled. Rachel Butler with the throw. Allison Wallauer couldn't hold the bag and the ball at the same time. That will be ruled an error. And Hempfield has their second base runner in Alexa Pastor.
Good folks, keep the bat horizontal to the ground. You see the throw, and you see Wallauer stretching to her left and just trying to make sure she makes the catch, concerned about the runner.
And that will be an error charged to the first baseman Wallauer. So it's Jenna Asakovic to the plate. She was hit by a pitch. She shows bunt, pops it up. Wallauer will make the catch, but Pastor stayed put, didn't wander too far away, and so the out is retired.
Nice job and good footwork by that's going to help Wallauer. And she's got to make sure that she didn't hold on to that last play. Good instincts right there, pursuing on the punt. And Ballin getting that high enough that the bunt gets popped up in the air.
So it brings up the cleanup hitter, Morgan Ryan, strikeout victim her first time up. Pops this one straight out of play. Pastor was off on the pitch.
They're going to be very aggressive with the running, especially with 1 out. And they're worried about positioning. See the defense in the outfield. Not real deep, but respectful.
In comparison to the other hitters, they are deep, but in comparison to normal hitters and normal pitchers, maybe not so much. As Ryan swings through that one again. Morgan Ryan already holds the Hempfield High School career home run record with 11. Thanks to her 6th this season. She's got another year yet to play. 9th time that Maggie Ballin has been 0-2 on a hitter. This one inside, runner takes off, throw bounces in there, and Alexa Pastor moves up on the stolen base. Pitch was inside, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And so for the first time in this game, a runner touches second with 1 out in the 4th. Lifted into left field. Megan Nolan has it, fights the sun, makes the catch. Runner stays put.
Second ball out of the infield, both popped up pretty good. Dealing with this, you look at where the sun is positioned at midday, those sunglasses help filter the ball through the sun. Nice job on the outfield by Megan Nolan.
Bring up Madison Stoner, grounded out to first, her first time up. Runner at second, now 2 outs. Pitch, a little bit, right, does catch the knees, and it's strike 1.
Let's go, Stoner. Come on, eh? Come on, eh? Find a gap.
Quickly ahead again, no balls and 2 strikes.
Ballon really staying ahead in the count. Very efficient with her pitches.
Neither pitcher has walked a hitter yet. Ballon did hit one by Jenna Osakovic in that first inning. This one up. Did she check her swing? Madison Stoner looking at appeal. She did not. The appeal down at first base umpire Dan Rossino Sr., who says nope, it's 1 and 2.
Well, the way we start out with the strikeouts, of the last 9 batters, 7 have got their bat on the ball.
Stoner stays alive, fouling this one straight back. And runner at second base, 2 outs.
Let's go, Stoner!
And Madison Stoner, who set a school record in 2016 for Hempfield High School with 31 RBIs on the year, looking to add to her record.
It's productive career.
Taps this one right side. McGarvey up with it, makes the flip, and that will retire the side. So again, Hempfield gets a runner on, but that's as far as it goes. We remain scoreless after 4 in the 4A final. Top half of the 5th inning. Avon Grove and Hempfield squaring off in the Quad A State Championship. The Red Devils have never been in a PIAA championship in softball. Hempfield did win one, but it was back in 1999. The coach remains the same. Bob Kalp, of course, been here for 20 years as the head coach at Hempfield High School. Won that 1999 AAA championship. Beat Williamsport 2-1 in that final. Only 2 losses on the season. They lost to Yock, who won the AAA championship 1-0 yesterday. Here at Nittany Lions Softball Park, they beat Lampeter Stroudsburg out of District 3 in yesterday's game. The only loss to Yock 5-3, and then they lost to Shaler 5-2. Here's a little tapper to third. No problem for Kaylee Bloom, who makes the throw to Belgiovanni for out number 1. Rachel Butler is retired for the first out in the 5th.
This is the way we thought this was going to play out. The pitching is such control, and the defense on the field doing a great job as far as handling everything. So you're getting a lot of defense.
Olivia Konitsky, who lined out to Kaylee Bloom her first time up, steps to the plate, takes one low. I put the over-under on runs scored at 2. I'm looking pretty good through 4.
You're doing a pretty good job in that prediction.
Not really going out on a limb when you got 2 of the best pitchers in the state going toe-to-toe against one another. 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
So far they faced a total of 14 batters. And of those 14 batters, 11 have gotten their bat on the ball. So Avon Grove has been productive, but the defense for Hempfield has been very fluid.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Up high, it's 2-2. And Ryan's pedigree is strong. She's not the strikeout pitcher that Ballon is. does indeed rely on her defense, and she struck out 2 in this game to put her at 185 on the season. There's that little changeup, and Konitsky hits a little squibber out in front. Nice play by the catcher, Madison Stoner, quickly out to make the throw down at first base for the second out.
Very good awareness by Maddie Stoner because the ball was put right on the line. What a great job on the dribbler. Now watch how she slides to her left to get out. See that path to the throw, and that was very well done because the Konitsky had the base path, and she was there. And good job by Stoner making the footwork to get herself a good throw.
Brings up Cameron Laterza, who takes the first pitch for a called strike. Laterza grounded out to first base her first time up. With these two kinds of pitchers, it's a busy day for first baseman. First baseman and third baseman the opposite way. Batter's not getting a whole lot on the ball. This one's up high, and it's 1-1.
There hasn't been a ball to shortstop, so right now Alexa Pastor really hasn't handled anything at short.
One ball and 2 strikes now as Laterza fouls that one away.
Infield's back.
Well, breaking ball this time, trying to get her to chase, does not. It's 2-2. No runs on 1 hit to this point for Avongrove. They've also committed an error. Hempfield still without a hit through 4 innings. This one again fouled straight back. So Laterza making some contact. He's trying to put it in play right now at 2-2. Hit .317 to this point in time in the season.
Morgan Ryan, very good command of her pitches.
Well, Pfister this time, and again, the first baseman has to make the play. Belgiovanni makes the flip as Asakovic again makes the cover at first base for the out. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Devils in the 5th. We head to the bottom, still scoreless.
You see that it's so timed so well. You get the little dribbler coming down the line and making sure that she charges was Belgiovanni, and Asakovic is so good at getting over to the bag so quick of foot. And made a great target because when first base fields the ball, as Belgiovanni would do, you want to be able to throw to the target. She's over there so quick, nice, easy finish of the play.
It's a very busy day for second baseman as well. You've got to be attuned to that. Those little squibbers to the right side, whether it's the pitcher who makes the play or the first baseman, regardless, you got to get over there and be a part of it to be in position to make the play on the cover at first base. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Hempfield to the plate at 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Spartans here in the 5th inning. The AAA Baseball Championships are live on PCN Select. Check out the action between games today on the PCN Select app. Or watch the games on tape delay on cable tomorrow. See the full baseball schedule at PCNTV.com. Baseball had some delays as well, quite obviously, here in State College yesterday. They got the first 2 games in. The AA Championship went to Newman-Goretti. The Quad A Championship went to Boyertown. And then 2 more games being played here as well, right down the road at State College, home of both the baseball and softball state championships, and here on PCN as well.
What a beautiful day to host this. Look at it. It is absolutely, there's no humidity, a slight breeze, a zephyr, so to speak.
Taylor Blevins, Kaylee Bloom, Jordan Sterling due up as Blevins weakly swings through that first pitch offering from Maggie Ballin. Blevins popped up to first base her first time up.
It's nice you're going through your second cycle, so you've seen the pitch. You hear a lot about it, but you've seen the pitch, you saw how the ball moves and where the tendencies are.
Taylor Blevins at .371 on this, her senior season. Again, she'll continue her softball career next year in the MAC, playing for Bowling Green. 0-2 pitch to her. There's that rise, but she lays off of it.
It's so tempting because it comes in low and just keeps coming up. It's moving so well.
This one misses away, and it's 2-2.
That's where it's interesting that the younger athletes understand. And we saw a little bit, or we're talking about Maggie Ballin's workout routine. And understand in sport, the size of the field you play on or the bat doesn't change the size of the ball. But physically, you can change, and that gives you more force and power.
Speaking of which, she throws another one by another hitter as Taylor Blevins becomes strikeout victim number 6 is that rise ball. She just can't catch up to it as it literally lifts up almost eye level by the time it actually crosses the plate.
And that's because she gets so much on the ball that it gets that rotation and keeps on rising so much.
Kaylee Bloom now is the hitter. She hit the ball the hardest of anybody for Hempfield at this stage. The deep fly ball to center field that ended the second inning.
So they got Laura Thompson positioned straightaway in center and showing some respect relatively deep. Not too deep over on the left, Megan Nolan. But a little room.
2-0 pitch, up high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Being a little cautious.
And Ballant has not yet walked a batter. She did hit one back in the second, or excuse me, back in the first. And there is the first walk. And a 1-out base runner here in the 5th inning.
Now with 1 out, you're going to see what's going to take place. You know there's going to be aggressive base running with the slap, so you see how they're going to defend this. So you can see the infield up, so that's going to open. This is going to be interesting how they're going to defend if the base runner takes off.
Shows the bunt, bunts it foul.
So staying deep, you're going to see Morgan DeFeo is going to be sliding over to take the throw.
So Kaylee Bloom, the runner at first base, 1 out. Jordan Sterling, the hitter, strikeout victim her first time up.
You know, what's interesting is if the ball is handled by Rachel Butler on third base could be open. You see Ballant's going to go over and cover third.
No balls and 2 strikes now. For what it's worth, Kaylee Bloom only has 1 stolen base on the season. So if they don't get the bunt down, that may take that out of the equation. No balls, 2 strikes to the hitter. Slaps this one, but slaps it foul. Kick save, Bob Kalp.
Now they pull McGarvey back almost by second base. Knowing that with the 2 strikes on, she's not going to lay it down. So now they're going to defend against the stolen base. You see McGarvey way back there.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out number 2.
And that's what seniors do, Bob. And the senior on the mound, knowing that she's got that base runner on, with 2 outs, the game changes. Not allowing Jordan Sterling to get her bat on the ball was big for Avon Grove.
So now it's Ali Belgiavani trying to keep this inning going for Hempfield. Strikeout victim herself the first time up. Takes the first pitch, called strike 1. Hempfield fans here from Greensburg in Westmoreland County and to root their team to a rally. Avon Grove out of West Grove, which is in Chester County.
Let's go, Allie. Come on, Allie. Base hit, kid.
And we're in Center County for the game.
Appropriately enough, as we are in the mid part of the state of Pennsylvania. Here at State College. 0-2 pitch. Missed that one. Hempfield fans thinking it was a ball. Avon Grove fans, of course, thinking it's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Andrew Harvin, once again, his opinion is the one that matters.
Runner at first, 2 outs. There's the rise. Good job by Konitsky. See, that's where that rise really comes into play for the catcher, because if it gets back or off the glove and it back to the fence, now all of a sudden you got a runner in scoring position. But a good job by Konitsky to hold on.
Quick on her body positioning. Strong leg to be able to stand up that quick.
This one fouled out of play. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to the hitter, Ali Belgiavani. She did a double and an RBI in the first round state playoff game over Latrobe. Won that one 4-0.
Go, AB. Come on, AB.
Fouled straight back. Got a piece of that rise that time.
He's only struck out 3 times all year. Now the first at bat. So she's got a pretty good contact hitter, but it's many times you're going to face a pitcher like this.
2-2 pitch, and fouls it away. At the 8th pitch of this at bat, so Belgiavani doing, as Mike said, keeping herself alive at the plate, trying to keep Hempfield alive here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner at first, 2 outs. Outfield straight away. Rip fouled on the third baseline. Got the Hempfield fans excited because of solid contact, even though it was fouled by 20 feet.
It was going towards green.
Just hasn't been a whole lot of solid contact to this point in time, and that goes for either side. Top of the order, and Taylor Hoffman in the on-deck circle, hoping for a chance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, Belgiavani staying alive at the plate. 10 pitches so far thrown in this at-bat.
This is where Maggie Ballin has really have to have that discipline as far as getting these foul tips. She wants to make sure that she doesn't get too cautious.
Same result.
Is this a Jimmy Pearsall story? He's starting to face up here a little bit.
Credit to Belgiavani for staying alive, and Maggie Ballin keeping her composure, not getting frustrated in the circle that she can't get that third one past. Shakes off the sign here. Comes with a rise, and it's popped up in the infield. Ballin will take charge herself, and that'll do it for Hempfield in the 5th. They do get a base runner, and they leave it stranded, and after 5, it remains scoreless in the Quad A State Championship. Mackenzie Van Sciver, Olivia McGarvey, and Megan Nolan, the 3 due up for Avon Grove here as we start the top half of the 6th inning. Alongside Mike Krause, my name is Bob McCool. We're watching PAAA Quad A Softball State Championships. 3 games played yesterday. The Single A Championship went to Williams Valley 3-2. AAA Championship went to Yock 1-0. The AA Final went to Holy Redeemer 9-3. In the 3 games that were played in order yesterday. This obviously was scheduled to be the 4th game yesterday, rescheduled to today. Sunny skies here at State College. A 2-0 start in the count for Mackenzie Van Sciver. Taking all the way and takes this one for a called strike 1. Grounded out to third, her first time up, trying to slap it past third baseman Kaylee Bloom.
That was a good call by the PAAA yesterday because I don't think we would have had it gotten in.
This one fouled on the third baseline. Long run for Jordan Sterling, but she'll run out of room. The count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The 3rd game was the AA game, and then it started raining right after they finished that up.
Van Sciver hit it .326 on the season to this point. Stands in at 2-2. Tried to check her swing, could not. Taps it foul.
Morgan Ryan brought that on the inside that time, so just trying to keep Mackenzie Van Sciver guessing.
And again, Van Sciver.
It's like a continuation of the
Ollie Belgiavani's bat where she faced 10 pitches from Maggie Ballin. And now it's Van Sciver keeping herself alive, trying to get something started here in the top of the 6th. Try to pull the string on it, try to keep her bat back, and did. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The changeup has been really effective for Morgan Ryan. This is the 8th pitch coming up. And she fouls it away.
A lot of softballs being used in today's game. Softball, the umpires have to double bag because of the size of the softball.
Good chance to use that tube that runs down through that dugout on the home plate side, on the first base side. Feed the softballs back into the dugout. Here's one slapped to Bloom at third. Throw in time as a collision as Belgiavani collides with the incoming runner, Mackenzie Van Sciver. Everybody's okay, and the out is recorded for the first in the 6th.
What's interesting is on the play, it was in the shield. As they're coming in, now you're responsible for the throw. The throw was a little bit high on the inside, caused her off balance, and that's why she was blocking the runner. Just an incidental situation. Because it looked like she was coming up on the line. Mackenzie Van Sciver thought that Belgiavani was going to step backwards.
And again, as that left-handed slap hitter that Van Sciver is, she's kind of inside the first base bag when she starts on making contact. And so she's trying to get back to the outside where that running lane is. And Van Sciver, Belgiovanni was also kind of stepping back to field the throw. And so they both obviously are entitled to the bag, and they both collided with one another. And main thing is that everybody's all right. They check on Ali Belgiovanni. She says she's fine. You're going to take a lot more than that to get her out of the game.
I think Karen Frankie caught that on video, Bob.
Karen Frankie, the manager for this Avon Grove, a really special young kid. And he's a freshman at Avon Grove High School. He keeps stats for them. He does their play-by-play in their video. And not a whole lot of people at that school district don't know him and don't like him.
What a great kid. There he is. Very enthusiastic. We had a chance to speak with him early, and a lot of energy, and does a lot of production. Very proud of him. I'm sure he does a great job.
Olivia McGarvey's done something today that no one else in this game has done. She got a base hit. The only hit of the game, a single to right field, her first time up. And she's now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Batting out of the 9 spot, top of the order, and Megan Nolan in the on-deck circle. It's 3-0.
Is that her first 3-0 series?
It is.
Getting later in the game, the 6th inning.
Has not walked the batter. Still hasn't. It's 3-1.
This is where, as a junior, you're looking, you're focused. Big-time pitchers make big-time plays.
3-1 pitch. And the count is now full.
Impressive getting behind 3-0 and getting the next 2 strikes in this situation. Great focus by Morgan Ryan.
Mike DeLuzio coaches at third. Andrea Pinnell coaches at first. This one lifted down the first baseline. Long run and a nice catch by Taylor Blevins. Made mention that all 3 outfielders for Hempfield are headed to Division I college. Taylor Blevins headed to Bowling Green. Long run, makes the catch in foul territory.
Stays with the outside. Nice. Look at that beeline. Good fundamentals. Close it with the support hand. Get the glove on it and lock it in. Very good technique there by Taylor Blevins. You can see why she's going to go play in college in her continued career as a D1 player.
That brings up Megan Nolan now with 2 outs in the 6th. First pitch over, called strike 1. Nolan 0 for 2. Struck out in the first. Grounded back to the circle to end the 3rd.
So now is her 3rd time around. She's got a little bit better feel what the pitch is doing and how they're moving. She had a series of pitches that she could study, talking to everybody what's going on.
Megan Nolan has hit safely in 20 of Avon Grove's 27 games to this point. This one fouled, long run, hits the dugout. As Madison Stoner and Ali Belgiovanni both give it a run.
One thing that we've seen Morgan Ryan is getting ahead of the hitters a lot. Puts the pressure on the batter.
Nolan keeps bat back. Count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You see as it's coming in, it's looking pretty good, but having discipline to see the way the ball's spinning and how quick it's coming up.
This one tapped towards short, passed her up with it. Strong throw, plenty of time. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Devils in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th, and we remain scoreless.
Now you see that was Pass's first handle of the ball, but you're seeing everything by defense. The hot down the line third base was Kaylee Bloom. Then you see the bunt and coming up quickly, Morgan Ryan. Good technique, get the throw, get the assist and the put out. Now we got it coming over in second base. The nice fly over there on defense by Osakovic. Then behind the plate, you're going to see Maddie Stoner coming up quick, stepping inside the line to give herself a clear throw. And then playing defense, Taylor Blevins in right field, chasing it down, closing that off with the support hand. Look at that technique. Great job in keeping focused. Good first step to the ball. This is why you can see not dominant in the strikeout mound, but not giving up runs either. None so far in the PIAA tournament surrendered by this Hempfield defense.
So we head to the bottom of the 6th now for the Spartans. It'll be the top of the order, and Taylor Hoffman, Olivia Pastor, and Jenna Ozakovic. Maggie Byland, 7 strikeouts to this point. Just another day at the office for the senior. Again, now 1,320 in her career. She has 369 now in this, her senior season. And she surrendered 1 walk today, which gives her a grand total of 36.
Tell you need a Hall of Fame moment. My assistant principal where I teach at Northwestern Lehigh Middle School, Amy Wall, Hall of Famer for Kutztown University from Avon Grove. Great athletic program down there, and you can see why they're successful.
Taylor Hoffman trying to slap one over the head, but Morgan DeFeo says not yet. No hitter remains in effect as Morgan DeFeo makes the catch on the slap line drive.
Now's the first opportunity defensively Morgan DeFeo had today. So we're seeing the shortstops get involved, and it's all about defense and on the mound.
Alexa Pastor tries to drop the back, pulls it back, takes it for a ball. 0 for 2 today, struck out in the first, safe on an error her last time up in the 4th inning.
Man, a lot of goose eggs up there in that scoreboard, Bob. It would be a big omelet if this was a restaurant with all those eggs up there.
No runs, just the 1 hit for Avon Grove. They've also committed the 1 error. Hempfield, all zeros.
This is where they bring McGarvey in against the lefty. You see McGarvey, the second baseman, is brought up as a fielder, and keeping Allison Wallauer back on defense.
Spartans have left 3 on base. Red Devils have only left the 1 on base to this point. 1 out in the 6th. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Alexa Pastor. Fouls another one out of play.
And you'd like to see in championship form that teams are playing to what they're capable of doing. And both teams have demonstrated that over the course of the season. They're consistent, control at the mound, control in the defense. But what they like is a little bit more offense, but which is dictated by the mound.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Just misses and the count's full. So Ballant struck out 5 of the first 9 she faced. Since then, Hempfield doing a little bit better job of getting them bat on the ball. They've struck out twice since that point in time. Just the second time that Ballant has been 3-2 on a hitter. And again, staying alive is Alexa Pastor.
And you see, this is your 3rd time around, so you're a little bit more familiar how the ball moves and how much it moves. Getting familiar with the type of pitches you've seen. You've seen it personally, not anything on film or what you've been told about it. And as an athlete, you can make your personal adjustments.
Same result as Alexa Pastor makes herself active in that box, keeps herself alive. So Bill Giovanni with that great at-bat to finish off the 5th inning. Turned into a 10-pitch at-bat. This the 9th pitch coming up to Alexa Pastor. Count 3-2. Up high, ball 4. So the second walk, back-to-back innings in which Maggie Ballant has walked a batter. She did the same thing the last inning, gave up a 1-out walk and then got 2 quick outs to get out of it. This will bring up Jenna Osakovic. So 3 and 4 now coming up in the order for Hempfield.
The pass the last time was successful on a stolen base.
Osakovic shows bunt, pulls it back, called strike.
This could be a problem if she can get that, because you got automatically DeFeo shading over to second. If it gets past 3rd base, pinch that over towards the pitcher's circle.
Bunted down the first base line, and a nice play by Wallauer. She just lets it roll foul. And so then it counts 0-2. So now we see if Bob Kalp changes things up a little bit with 2 strikes on the hitter, Jenna Osakovic. Got good wheels at first. Pastor's stolen 14 bases.
They laid that down first, and Wallauer, if she had the option of throwing it over to second base, she is a lefty. But the speed of Pastor is going to relinquish that thought.
Osakovic does not show bunt, swings through it. Runner does take off, and the stolen base is there. The throw from Panitsky is high as DeFeo went up to get it, then tried to get the tag, but Pastor got the hand back in. So a stolen base. Out is recorded. The strikeout to Osakovic makes it 2 outs now in the inning. So here comes Morgan Ryan to the plate with a runner at second base and 2 outs.
Storybook. This is storybook. Yeah, you have control of your own destiny here as the pitcher. with the bat. You got a runner in scoring position. They're going to defend her pretty normal in the outfield, and the infield's back. So give her a chance to swing and make contact. Again, this is the third time she's seen Ballant throw.
2 outs, bottom of the 6th. The pitch outside, ball 1.
Discipline, Morgan. Good discipline.
See how Ballant handles this as far as her focus with the 2 outs. It's got to be on the bat of Morgan Ryan. And we talked earlier about the riser.
This one over, called strike at the letter. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike now to Morgan Ryan.
And this is where Koniski's so important, being able to control if they're going to throw the riser, being able to make sure she's quick enough if it gets a little bit high.
Fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Morgan Ryan thinking one thing: contact, get it through, get it into the outfield with good speed in Alexa Pastor at second. And with 2 outs, she can get a jump. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Maggie Ballant rises to the occasion, and that rise ball ends the inning. We're through 6. We head to the top of the 7th, still scoreless. We head to the top half of the 7th inning. Avon Grove Red Devils, the Hempfield Spartans battling in the Quad A State Championship. 2, 3, and 4 are due up for the Red Devils here in this 7th inning. Is somebody trying to put that first run across? Morgan DeFeo, Maggie Ballant, and Allison Wallauer are due up for the Red Devils here in the 7th inning. Hempfield has left 4 on base now. 2 of those runners have reached second. The only runner who has reached second in this game has both been Hempfield Spartans. They left a runner at second in the 4th, and again in that last inning in the 6th inning. Conversation going on right now with Melissa Mertz from the PIAA, the 4 umpires, and the 2 head coaches. Not quite sure what this one's all about as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. There were a lot of these kind of conversations yesterday with rain clouds in the forecast, but a lot of blue sky above us.
Yeah, the sky looks pretty clear. We're going to be all right there.
So just a little bit of a delay before Morgan Ryan will step to the plate. Maybe a little frustrated as she was at the plate with a chance to maybe give her team the lead in the bottom half of the 6th inning and then preserve that lead for the 7th, but that was not to be, and so we go to the 7th still scoreless.
And we got the other Morgan coming up. Avon Grove.
DeFeo 0 for 2 on the day, popped up to short, grounded out to second. First pitch, outside, ball 1.
They really have Taylor Hoffman pretty far in center field. You know, if he gets to right field, Tara Blevins playing the depth she is, I don't know if she'd be able to throw it to first in time.
DeFeo tries to hold up. They check, see whether it peeled down to third base, say nope. So it is 1 ball and, it's 2 balls and no strikes to Morgan DeFeo. One of 7 sophomores in Avon Grove's lineup. This one's up and in, it's 2 and 1. No, it's 3 and 0. I stand corrected, it's 3 and 0. And Ryan has not walked a batter in this game.
Last inning she was down 3-0 through the next 2 strikes.
Does get strike 1 here. Maggie Ballant in the on-deck circle. Top hitter in the lineup for the Red Devils. 3-1 pitch. Fouled away. Does the same thing. Gets right back into a 3-2 count. Third time a Red Devil hitter has been in a full count spot.
Ball got scuffed, I guess, as it hit over in the box. Dugout. Don't want to give it additional spin or extra movement with the scuffed ball.
This one slapped left side. Alexa Pastor with a long throw in time for the out. Great stretch by Belgiovanni.
It looked like her heel came off there as she was receiving the ball to throw. What a great job by Alexa Pastor. from deep in the hole. Watch over at first base and see her right foot stays in contact. See the angle. Kept in contact with her toes. Well done. Great angles by the cameras.
Great shots by our Service Electric TV2 crew, the Menlo Cable Partners and PCN all across the state of Pennsylvania, the Lehigh Valley, giving us the sights and sounds and all the shots here at State College for these softball state championships. As Maggie Ballant steps to the plate, takes one for a ball and now takes one for a strike, and it's 1-1. Ballant 0 for 2 on the day, grounded back to the circle her first time up, grounded out to third her last time up. She's had hits in 20 of the 27 games she's played in this her senior season. Takes this one low, and it's 2-1.
40 hits in the year. That's a productive offense.
Hard to say she's been as good as she's been as a pitcher because she's been so good as a pitcher, but she's a very good hitter as well. This one slapped right side. Belgiovanni makes the play all by herself. There's 2 outs in the 7th.
Nice footwork by Belgiovanni. Watch as she moves to her right. Keeps on facing the ball. Her toes facing where the ball is coming from. Good position, scooped it up, and quickly back over to first base.
So to bring up Allison Wallauer, sophomore first baseman, also 0 for 2 today. Popped up to the circle, struck out in her 2 plate appearances.
They're playing her pretty straight up.
Takes this one for a called strike 1.
Gotta give credit to Ryan. Both times when she had a 3-0 count, was able to have her defense back her up and make plays.
Fouled straight back. She struck out 2. She has not walked a batter. Surrendered the 1 hit all the way back into 3rd inning.
See where left foot Wallauer, she sneaks out in towards the plate. Really crowding the plate.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Red Devils in the top of the 7th. The Spartans trying to win it as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
This has just been a battle of what's going on with the defense and the pitching. As we anticipated, you go on the bottom of the 7th, you got who you want on the mound for Avon Grove. And coming up to the plate, you got some of your critical hitters that have made a difference.
So we head now to the Spartans with a chance with 5, 6, and 7 coming up. That's Madison Stoner, Taylor Blevins, Kaylee Bloom to face Maggie Ballant now in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the Spartans have left 4 on base, twice getting a runner to second base, and unable to get any further than that as Ballant has risen to the occasion on each of those 2 situations and gotten key strikeouts.
It's like the cloud jumped in front of the sun. What a beautiful view though, Bob. You got Bryce Jordan straight over there, the IM building, and to the left you can see the edge of the stadium.
Beaver Stadium over the left field scoreboard here at Nittany Lions Softball Park. The IM building expanded and more construction and more expansion coming on the IM building. Beyond the right field fence, as you see straight away from our behind the home plate shot. Straight away is Bryce Jordan Center, straight away to center field. Construction right behind the center field fence here. Symmetrical park, 200 feet down the right and left field line, 220 to straightaway center.
So I was Coach Mike DeLuzio in the background there, trying to get his troops ready to defend. Let's go another inning. Avon Grove is saying, hey, we want to go 8. Hempfield says, hey, let's call it here.
Madison Stoner 0 for 2 so far on the day and finds herself in an 0-2 hole now in this her 3rd plate appearance. Stoner on the season hit .538. Just a junior. Tap foul to stay alive.
Ballant staying ahead. Getting that late swing by Stoner.
9 strikeouts to this point from Maggie Ballant.
Stoner leads the team in hits. In the season, she's got 42.
Fouled straight back again.
Stoner also on the year 2 strikeouts and he hasn't struck out today at all. So expecting the ball to be in play somewhere.
And that was one of the things that Bob Kalp was really trying to emphasize to his team, that taking a look at some of the numbers, that they just aren't a team that strikes out a whole lot. So let's try to keep the ball in play and make them make plays. With the exception of the one error in this game, Avon Grove has responded to that challenge. And of course, Maggie Ballin is also stepped forward with the 9 strikeouts to this point, with an 0-2 count now on Madison Stoner leading off in the 7th inning.
And this is where the kids can't focus on outcome. They got to focus on making plays.
There's a little pop-up in the infield, and Ballin again will take charge and make the catch for the first out.
Nice and smooth, very confident. Recognize that right away. No jerky motion, no tension. And this is where you look when you're looking at the bottom of the 7th, they look very relaxed, which is going to make them help defensively make plays. You're not thinking about this being your last inning at bat. You're going to keep on playing softball. Big difference in the way you're going to make some plays.
Here comes Taylor Blevins. 0 for 2 as well on the day. Infield pop-up, strikeout in her 2 plate appearances. The first pitch to her again is a called strike. Ballin not wasting a whole lot of pitches in this 7th inning. She's firing strikes. And there's strike 2.
And the nice thing about the weather, we don't have much humidity. So the players, the pitchers, are the one you want to be focused on, because you get a little dehydrated, you lose your focus.
There's the rise to try to get her to chase. They'll appeal. She did not swing, and so Blevins is now in a 1-ball-and-2-strike count.
Umpire crew has really worked well together from District 11. You see she held it back. It's close, but very good discipline by Taylor Blevins.
Tried to get her to chase outside. Again, good discipline to keep from swinging at that one. It's 2-2.
Looked like she was going on that one, too.
So she throws the rise and she holds. She throws the outside pitch, breaking ball off the corner, and she holds. Comes back with the rise, and Blevins fouls it away.
Pretty impressive with both teams, the way they've just been able to fight off pitches.
It's interesting to see. You don't see it a whole lot anymore, because the game of baseball and softball has gone to the coaches calling the pitches from the dugout. But Maggie Ballin is shaking off the pitches. There's a tough hop at shortstop, but well played by Morgan DeFeo to throw to Wallowers in time for the 2nd out.
The shortstops are getting more touches on the ball later in the innings. So that's a combination of the hitters are starting to get a bitter. You see as it goes up, right to short, 1 hops it, good footwork, nice relaxed throw. Plenty of time to get the out.
So it brings up Kaylee Bloom now with 2 outs in the 7th. First pitch to her is up high, ball 1. And just to finish that thought, again, most catchers you see them looking to the dugout to get the pitch from the coach, and then they give the signal to the pitcher. So Maggie Ballin is pretty much calling her own game, and you can understand why Mike DeLuzio would allow her to do that, with not just her ability, but again, as we said, her pedigree. Her mother was a very good pitcher in her day and has pitched at St. John. So Maggie Ballin is in control of her own destiny right now with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
And you know, Olivia Konitsky, only a freshman, they have a great relationship that they can find situations. What does she like to throw against the batters? And it's nice to see the players have an opportunity to engage and take ownership on how the game's managed.
So now it's a 2-1 count to Kaylee Bloom. 0 for 1 on the day. She walked back in the 6th. Takes this one for a called strike 2, excuse me. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Contact here.
Ripped hard. Wallauer makes a nice play at first for the 3rd and final out. The Quad A final will go to extra innings. We'll have it when we come back here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. The Quad A final heads to extra innings. Avon Grove and Hempfield scoreless as we head to the top half of the 8th inning.
Now you're in extra innings and you're going, and this is where you see a difference possibly of the senior defense or versus the freshman sophomore. You see the picture as a transition. Got a little warm out there today, and appears that we are going to do a transition in the home plate umpire.
Andrew Harvin, the home plate umpire, was experiencing some dehydration, so they made the change, and we'll get that for you as we head to the top of the 8th with Rachel Butler leading it off for Avon Fouls the first pitch straight back. Olivia Konitsky, Cameron Laterza, the 3 due up here to face Morgan Ryan in the top half of the 8th inning. Danny Mader is the new home plate umpire.
And that's where, as a result, we saw the conference in the end of the 6th inning about both coaches, what was going to take place.
Danny Mader is the PIAA rules interpreter for softball, has been in that role for many years, and now he's behind the plate in the 8th inning.
So you see where what his interpretation of the plate is compared to where we were, and that's why you want to start in the post innings, not have an impact on the first 7 innings.
Rachel Butler right now is ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Big swing at this one, and it's 2-2. Struck out and grounded out the 3rd in her 2 plate appearances to this point in time. She's in a 2 ball and 2 strike count right now. This one fouled out of play, staying alive.
Butler being able to stay with contact. She's had a successful last couple of swings with contact on the ball.
Not that time. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ryan. She ended the 7th with 1 and starts the 8th with her strikeout number 4.
And you're seeing this is the pitching. The pitching is rising to the challenge. Not rising, it's just been steady. So I guess the challenge is can you be consistent, and that's where the rising is. Well, I will be consistent.
It's really going to be whether or not a hitter can rise to the challenge, because the pitchers have been spot on since the first pitch of the 1st inning.
And your call on the over-under is doing pretty well.
Olivia Konitsky is the hitter. She's 0 for 2. Lined out the 3rd, grounded out the 2nd in her 2 plate appearance. Or actually, a little tapper in front that the catcher Madison Stoner was able to throw her out in her 2 plate appearances. She's ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes. This one lifted into center field. Taylor Hoffman has it and squeezes it.
Well, the positive of that is Konitsky getting the ball out of the infield. So making contact here as we move along in the game. Now you're looking at the situation where this is dream time. This is what you dream of as a young athlete. Getting in a situation, a state championship, trying to make a difference, have an impact.
Cameron Laterza bats. By the way, that catch by Taylor Hoffman in center field is the 2nd time an outfielder for Hempfield has had to make a play. The other one was by Taylor Blevins in foul territory. So the outfielders have not been very busy. 1-0 pitch is over for a called strike 1 to Laterza.
They really have Hoffman shaded towards right center.
Laterza grounded out to 1st and grounded back to the box in her 2 plate appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike, up high, makes it 2-1.
It's just a good chess game. What you're doing, your pitch callings have been dead on. Your defense has been very fluid.
This one a little bit up high, and it's 3-1. Hempfield at least has had the opportunities to try to make something happen. Avon Grove really has not had a whole lot of opportunities at all. They had the single back in the 3rd, and that's been their only base runner. Count full. Every time that Morgan Ryan gets 3 balls on a hitter, she comes back quickly with strikes.
She gets the full count. She's just been so consistent.
And here is her 3-2 pitch. Tapped right back to circle. Ryan juggles it, calmly picks it up and fires to 1st in time to finish the top half of the 8th inning.
Almost a little bit too relaxed on that throw. So when she knocked it down, she picked it up at the same pace, but just allowing the runner a couple more steps as she comes up. But talk about consistency. There she is, Morgan Ryan on the mound.
And when this game started, her record was at 22-2, the 1.17 ERA. Obviously, through now 8 innings, that ERA continues to dip closer and closer to 1.0. She has just been in command and only the one hit against her. She has not walked the batter, not been overpowering hitters, but she continues to throw strikes and 4 strikeouts along the way.
And that throw just looked, okay, I'll get there over there. But that's her personality is what's being demonstrated here. Is that appears to be how she is. And there's the man.
The chief, executive director of the PIAA, Bob Lombardi. Greg Biller, part of the executive staff as well, business director of the PIAA, all on hand today. Of course, as we said, the PIAA baseball championships are going on right down the street here at State College as well.
I think Bob's putting his order in for wings for afterwards.
So here come the Hempfield Spartans trying to win this in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Hempfield. Facing Maggie Ballin. 9 strikeouts on the day.
Here we have the defensive positioning.
Infield up, outfield straight away and shallow. Really shallow is Cameron Laterza in right. We got a pinch hitter for Hempfield to start this inning, actually. Jordan Bernard Jr. is pinch hitting for Sterling. Swing and a miss, and she is behind now. No balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty aggressive swing.
This one fouled out of play. Jordan Bernard finds herself in an 0-2 count. This one misses away. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's interesting because you have a lefty that's taking full swings. The other one you're seeing slats from bunts. So the approach to how you're going to pitch a little bit differently.
Bernard 10 for 20 on the season for Hempfield. And this one just misses, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rise, and she stays off of it. It's 3-2.
Pretty good discipline by Jordan Bernard coming in here in the top of the or bottom of the 8th and getting to a full count against this outstanding pitcher, Ballin.
3rd time that Maggie Ballin has gone to a full count against a hitter. She's walked 2. She's walked 3. So Bernard does her job. Get on base to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
See if they have a pinch runner for her. Or she's going to do it on her own. Nope. They're going to use Jordan Sterling.
Brings Jordan Sterling back to run. So a good round of applause from the Hempfield fans for Bernard, who got on base. And then I'll bring up Ali Belgiovanni, and I don't think there's a whole lot of guessing as to what the 9-hole hitter Belgiovanni might do in this situation.
Well, it's going to be where she puts it down, and should she choose to do that. She had a pretty good at bat last time, a lot of contact. But you know, what are they going to let her try to take the steal first?
Pulls the bat back.
Konitsky making sure Jordan Sterling gets back to that bag. Be pretty aggressive here with 0 outs.
Gets the bunt down. Ballin makes the play, makes the throw, not in time. Second baseman McGarvey covering, and her foot came off the bag. So it's now 1st and 2nd and nobody out.
As you see on the throw coming over there, it was a nice routine play. The timing was pretty close as it was. You'll see as the ball lays down right there in the middle. So you have your infielders Ballin with a good throw. Her heel was up. It just looks like the pressure over the left side of her foot, or the right side of her foot, just off.
And so that will go as a hit, so that breaks up the no-hitter as well. And so it's 1st and 2nd now, and nobody out on the bang-bang play at first.
And see, as she was, because the throw was to her extended side, she's trying to reach out to make the catch, but pulled her left foot off the bag.
So it brings to the plate Taylor Hoffman. Maggie Ballant now in a situation of trying to make something all in her control. Tapper, third base side, bobble. Bases are now loaded. Rachel Butler couldn't field it cleanly, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. And this is what we talked at length about with Bob Kalp, to make some of these youngsters make some plays in the infield. They've done it in this 8th inning. And now comes Alexa Pastor with the bases loaded and nobody out. Infield up tight, trying to cut off that winning run at the plate. Lifted into the air in left field. Megan Nolan makes the catch. Tagged at third.
Nice
the
throw.
To the plate. Not in time. The Hempfield Spartans are the 2016 Quad A state champions. They win it 1-0. Small ball indeed. Get a runner on base. It started with a walk. Execution of a bunt, it didn't happen. An error and a sacrifice fly. You get a run and a state championship in an excellent execution in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Pass to the senior, making his step up. Struck out a first at bat. Hit one on the ground in the infield. Got on first in an error and walked. And when she needed to big, get the ball out of the infield and allow the tag to take place. Stepped up huge.
We will take a break. We'll come back and we'll have the medal ceremonies of the Quad A State Championship in softball. So the Hempfield Spartans are your 2016 Quad A State champions. They won the district championship. They won it over Baldwin 2-0. And they win the state championship as well. They win this one over Avon Grove by a final score of 1-0. And so Maggie Ballant, we talked at length about it at the beginning of the game and how good she is. And as advertised, she brought it to State College.
And these are just plays. Look how close that play is. They're working out in Avon Grove's favor. Great job in getting enough of a bat on the ball to get the ball into left field by Alexa Pastor to create that forced tag up at home.
It's what they thought. If they can just get some runners on base, it took them a while, as Hempfield ultimately will leave 6 on base, but they had left 4 on base through the first 7 innings, including getting a couple runners to second base, but just couldn't get that big hit. But eventually they just kept putting the ball in play and eventually get the runners in position and make some plays. And so Avon Grove now will get the silver medals and Hempfield will get the gold. And how about Morgan Ryan matching up against Maggie Ballant? We said at the beginning of the game we had 2 major college Division I softball players. Maggie Ballant, outstanding, the number 4 recruit in the country, headed to Oregon University. And Morgan Ryan, who's just a junior, headed to Notre Dame University. But Bob Kalp says, wait a minute, I got her this year and I got her next year. And she throws another shutout, 5 straight shutouts to finish the season for Morgan Ryan.
Hey, that's maturity. You start as a junior, now you're really playing like a senior. And just the persistence, and great for her, understanding her situation earlier in the year, her father. That's commendable. I'm very happy for her to be able to pull this off. If you're going to pull it off, do something special for the team. But the team it was, Bob, she had the defense behind her and they made the contact. But you look at it, Avon Grove. It's 8-inning game. They played tough. They made the plays they had to make. You know, when you take that silver medal, it really hurts. It hurts a lot. But when you have a chance to reflect on it, you played in a state championship. It's so hard to get here, so hard. And to play in a state championship, as an athlete, you compete, you're disappointed, but you played in a state championship. There's a lot of other people that would like to be in your place.
There's no question about it. It's immediately it's heart-wrenching because you are the runner-up. You're thinking so much about being the state champion, but again, Avon Grove had never been here before to play for a state championship in softball, so they certainly have accomplished that much. It's a very young softball team. Obviously, they'll lose Maggie Ballant, which is no easy loss to absorb, but a lot of young players got a lot of experience today. And over the course of this season, this is the 28th game of the year, so they work their way through district and state playoffs to get here. And so there'll be some smiles when this one's all said and done. There's going to be a whole lot of smiles on the trip back to Westmoreland County and Greensburg, Pennsylvania, the home of the Hempfield Spartans, because Bob Kalp, for the second time in his 20 years at Hempfield High School, will put gold medals around a softball team.
Well deserved, well deserved. The plays that had to be played, and they all did their job. They all did their job.
71 years young, Bob Kalp has been the head coach for 20 years. He was an assistant for 6 more years before that. So he knows all about this game. He knows all about these girls. And he loves numbers, because he was rattling off some numbers to us. And he said, these are the kinds of things I give to the girls. They're like, look, we got a couple-hour bus ride. So he's telling them that, we've only struck out this many times, and they've struck out that many times, and we've only made this many errors, and they've only made that many errors. And his mindset is to get them in the right mindset to say, look, whatever we've been hearing and all the extra stuff that we've been hearing about this girl on the other side of the state in Avon Grove, who's such a great pitcher, look, these are the numbers, and if we play our game, we can do this, we can win it. It took 8 innings to prove him right, but he ends up being right when it's all said and done.
And they didn't lose it, and that's the part where they just stayed aggressive. But you got to build your team's confidence knowing that they can compete, regardless of what you're going to hear about other people. What is your strength? Because that's what you focus on and you make play. And obviously, the mound is pretty much of their strength, but also the players behind them. Everybody that had an opportunity, fundamentally sound, very precise in their decision-making, making the adjustments we saw behind the home plate when Stoner had to make any plays, making calls, anything moving on the outfield, the balls in the infield. Everybody made very precise, quick, distinct decisions, and they were performing technically sound fundamentally.
And so Hempfield ends this season now at 25-2. Again, they'll take home the district championship as well as the PIAA championship. Win number 350 in Bob Kalp's career will give him his second straight state championship at the Quad A level.
And when you look at the WIPIAL, and you look at that, and taking pride in the WIPIAL and also the PIAA. And then the western part of the state takes some pride in that, knowing that the state champions, the 2 games we call are Western Pennsylvania, so the WIPIAL's got to be very proud of the softball played up here this weekend.
And so it was some good softball, and it comes to an end in dramatic fashion as Hempfield wins it in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and they win it by a final score of 1-0. So for all of us at the Pennsylvania Cable Network and our crew, under the direction of Andy Himmelwright and all the great work of our crew from TV2 Sports and Service Electric Cable in the Lehigh Valley, we thank them for their coverage. For Matt Hall from the Pennsylvania Cable Network, our producer, and my partner Mike Krause, my name is Bob McCool. Thanks for watching State Championship Softball yesterday and today as well, as Hempfield wins it over Avon Grove in 8 innings. The final score, the Spartans won, the Red Devils nothing. The Hempfield Spartans are your Quad A state champions. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have yourselves a great rest of the day and a great weekend as well.